innocent till proven guilty. Or, before you make a judgment, get both sides of the story. That's pretty basic stuff. Unfortunately, in the last little while, especially under this evil woke culture, we've been moving away from this. Case in point, this past month, a young hockey player in the ECHL named Jacob Panetta was accused of making a racial gesture. Now, what happened during a game where Jacob Panetta had a skirmish with a black player named Jordan Subban, who's the younger brother of PK Subban, who we all know. And during this altercation, Jacob Panetta made a gesture in which Jordan Subban assumed was racial in nature. However, the very next day, Jacob explained that it wasn't a racial gesture. Rather, it was him making this tough guy bodybuilder pose, which makes sense because he's done this before with other players, albeit white players, and other players have made this pose to their opposition. So I believe him, but I believe him more so just judging by the fact that any white person who gets caught on camera making a racial gesture or uttering a racial slur towards a non-white, especially if they're black, that could have very, very serious ramifications, including being fired from your job or having your reputation ruined. Because unlike what they imply, this nonsense about white privilege, it's actually the complete that's an inversion of reality. In reality, white people gotta walk on eggshells, and this is pretty much common knowledge. So, for this reason especially, I believe Jacob. I believe that this was a bodybuilder tough guy pose and not him trying to imitate a monkey flapping his arms. However, even though he told his side of the story and defended himself pretty much the very next day, it was too late. That the league, the media, and the Subbans had already deemed him guilty. Even before he had a chance to explain himself. In fact, he's still suspended by the league, and that his team still has yet to reinstate him, even though his defense makes perfect sense. And I just think, like, shame on the Subbans for perpetuating this hoax, or at the very least, not giving him a chance to explain himself, because they know as much as anyone else the potential ramifications of this. Like, they know as much as I know that such an accusation could ruin a person's career and reputation, but yet they slandered him anyways. Oh, yet we're supposed to believe that Jordan Subban's the victim. My ass, he's the victim. Jacob Panetta's the victim of another of an all too common anti-white witch hunt, in which the media, who Donald Trump rightfully labeled the enemy of the people, gladly took the ball and ran with it. In fact, the media still is doubling down on the lie and the BS. They still haven't apologized to Jacob for for this act of slander. And it's very, very shameful. Very, very shameful. And and something that was perpetuated by a high profile person like PK Subban, who's really very narcissistic to the point of being to the point of it being a pathology. Like he just loves to have the attention all focused on him all the time. Well, here's some attention I'd like to see him get. I'd like to see him get booed uh, in every NHL arena that he plays in. Yeah, I like to see fans boo him. Now, don't now. I must say, don't yell any racial slurs at him, or don't throw a banana peel at him, or any nonsense like that, because then he could just play the victim, and it won't get the same point across. Whereas if he gets booed, maybe he'll think twice. Although I doubt it, but he certainly deserves it after slandering this young man, Jacob Panetta, who, by the way, he's not a political or social activist of any sort. He's just a young man playing hockey for a living, or at least he was. And this slanderous accusation really, really took him off guard, as it would anybody, especially someone who's not necessarily politically savvy, which, from what I see, he really isn't, since he apologized to Subban as a knee-jerk reaction, which he shouldn't have, because he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do what he was accused of doing. And he said that he had made this gesture towards non-racialized players. Now, here's the thing. Don't use that, the fact that he used that Marxist terminology, this anti-white slur, racialized people, again, is more evidence that he's not politically or culturally savvy. Just say white players, or players of European descent, not non-racialized. Garbage term. But at any rate, he was innocent of what he was accused of. And but yet his career is still on hold, and his reputation is tarnished. Although, luckily, a lot of people came to his defense and saw this for what it was. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that that his reputation isn't damaged too badly, and that he can get his career back on track.